All right, sorry guys. I'm just getting everything all kind of set up right now at the moment. Had the whole fiasco yesterday, so I'm just making sure everything's running clearly and stuff like that. Sorry if you guys are just sitting here waiting for me to start. I'm just making sure I got everything. All right, sorry. Am I in the right place? Yeah, bro. You could be in the right place. You can be in the wrong place. I mean, this is always a good time over here. I tell you what. I mean, I think I have a good time over here. At least with y'all. But yeah, so I'm just going to be answering any questions that anyone may have. Um, I don't know why my chat screen just isn't loading for me. It's really throwing me off. This is always the right place. Blurple, you know what? You're 100% right. This is always the fun side. I think we have a lot. I think we have good time. I try to bring some fun and stuff like that to the Discord when I can. Money, money, how can you not have fun? Yo, for real. You ain't lying. There we go. Now I got my chat up and working. There we go. All right. Things are working right now. Beautiful. Okay. Sorry. Dude, crazy stuff. I'm still building, well, I'm still building. I'm about to build my PC, so it's about to get a little bit different up in here for me on the back end side. You guys don't have to deal with none of that, but I'm gonna start doing some pretty fun stuff. Once I get everything all set up and stuff like that, I'm going to be doing a lot more different variety of things for you guys. So right now I'm just setting up in a very fun manner. Anyway, so I'm just going to kind of jump right into it really quick about what I'm looking at. Obviously, we got about 1 minute until market open, but I'm going to take about 1 minute just to kind of go over a couple of different stocks. I'm just going to probably talk about, we'll just do like the top 5 of SPY. Just to make it easy, we'll do some charting on all 5 of them real quick and just kind of see a general direction of where tech is. What GPU are you getting? Let's see what I have in my Micro Center card here real quick. Or you know what? Even bet I think I cleared it out yesterday, but you know what we can do? I can take a look here. Honestly, dude, I think I might get um I'm really torn in between Nvidia and AMD. AMD is a little bit on the cheaper side, obviously, so I might go with them, but I'm thinking probably a 570 Ti, possibly. Dude, GPUs are just so expensive, bro. Dude, 700 bucks for a GPU. Well, the ones that I want are like 1,000. But I'll probably get the 5070 Ti or what's the other one? The 9070 XD or whatnot for the GPU side of it. I can't really make up my mind. I mean, honestly, they're both going to be really good. The CPU that I'm going to be getting is probably 53D cache. So, and then I'm still kind of working on the motherboard of what I kind of want. I'm thinking I might go with a Wi-Fi 7 motherboard just to get it just to get it to a little bit more to like on the upgradier kind of side. So if I want to switch something out or add in some add in something new, or I wait like 5 6 years, I'm going to be able to buy like the newest chip, possibly, maybe. But just to get some stuff started, that's pretty much where I'm going to start. All right, guys, so I'm currently looking at the SPY. You know, yesterday I talked about the pre-market high. Obviously, we just opened and we had a nice red candle. So if you guys were following along yesterday, you kind of know exactly what I was looking at. I was looking at um the downward pressure right here where I think we're going to end up going. It looks like we're still sitting right here in this range. Like I'm telling you, we keep coming in and out of this range pretty normally. So I'm going to kind of keep that there. I personally think we're going to come down and test the 50. Where's my little arrow marker? Boom. So I think we're going to come down here, test the 13, and we'll see kind of what happens there. So I was looking at the pre-market too, and it looked like it tried to fill this pre-market gap fill. It didn't get there. So I would definitely be looking for a bounce to fill this at some point, or also bearish case, we don't even fill this yet. We come down and we fill this gap instead. And then we come up right here, boom, test the 50, which is literally like right here in this area. Come down, test the 50 to flip back around to fill this gap right up here. So 50 test possibly to fill this gap right up here. But for now, we're just going to worry about the 13, this guy. So if we break this support area, we're going to be heading down. I'm just going to kind of show you guys the little pre-market little dealio and tell you what I'm talking about. You see this big candle right here? This candle normally would sweep liquidity for everything above right here. That's what I think these candles are. Honestly, I have no idea what these candles are. Just a bunch of whales coming in and buying all at the same time, or triggering algorithm prices, raising it up and then ripping it back down. But it got pretty close to filling this pre-market gap. If this filled the pre-market gap before in the pre-market, it's kind of crazy because if we look back before, where's yesterday? See how we have this big candle here? Pretty much around the same time we're gapping from after hours into pre-market, we're either gapping down or we're having some crazy volume spikes, literally like this one, where it's ripped all the way up, came all the way back down, obviously. So it's pretty scary. Pretty kind of scary stuff. So we'll see if we bounce here. We're kind of hitting the oversold, so let's expect, see, boom, literally right off my blue line. Can't make it up, bro. Can't make it up. Anyway, so we're gonna bounce up. Obviously, we tested the 5 right now. Looks like we have lots of selling pressure. So, like I said, I would be looking at today as a bearish kind of move, kind of. But you know, we'll see. We'll see kind of what happens. So let's go back over here and open up our Webull here, and I'm just gonna kind of look at the overall market here. So obviously we got SPY, Microsoft. So you know what? Let's just run down the top right here. We'll do Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Avago, and stuff like that. And then we'll probably get into some trading. So let's just go to Microsoft. Let's kind of check out what we got going on here. All right, so we're just gonna take this off and look at what we got. Man, the daily's crazy. This is a wild ride, y'all. Yeah, so it looks like we created some gaps. Okay, wonderful. So this is how we're going to do this. We're just going to chart out gaps here. Let's put our magnet on. If you guys don't know, when you're doing your charting, you'll have your tools over here, obviously, your lines. I don't know if I've told you guys any of this, but you'll have your lines over here and your little toolbar right here. And I use the extended line. The extended line is basically a forever line. So That's how that one, and then I use my trend line obviously for smaller trends. So I'm just gonna go up here, click this guy. I have a little toolbar already ready for me, so I don't have to worry about it. And then this little magnet right here helps you lock right onto the candle. You see how my cursor is automatically rising and lowering for me? It means it's helping me already get on the candle there for you. So boom, we're gonna just put 439. Boom, 439 gap fill. And then it looks like, and this is on the daily here. This is the daily gap fills. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. It's actually way up here. What am I doing? And sometimes this will automatically lock on for you, so it does get a little annoying. Huge difference, 478. Boom, 438 gap fill. And it looks like we just started right here. And then I'll keep this one short term. I'll put this one on the trend here. Also, this helps me determine where the bottom and where the tops are, honestly, for stuff. Start of the gap. And it looks like we have a couple of mini ones down here. You see these guys? Gap up, a little bit of consolidation. So this chart's going to look a little busy. But that's fine. I would rather it be charted out and look a little messy than be wondering, why am I doing this? All right, and then we got another gap up right here, boom. And then we got one more right up here. About 36. Boom. Now you can look at this too. Gonna put star a gap, hilarious. Start a gap. Anyway, so this is how I'm gonna kind of leave this chart right here for Microsoft, so you can clearly see that we created a huge gap up over here. So at some point we wanted to finish that off. Ripped all the way up. This is the daily, by the way. Came up. Pretty much had a double top right here. Gapped up, sold off, looked for another retest to break above. It did. Immediately sold off, and then it gapped down right here. Boom. At that 536 level, sold all the way off. We created another gap down. Came back, filled that one, sold back off again. Created a gap up, consolidated a little higher, close this gap right here. I know this is like, this kind of seems like a lot, but honestly, it's really not. This is really basic stuff. Created a gap right here, came down, created a gap up. Didn't even fill this gap yet, obviously. Consolidated, filled this gap back down, gap down again, half filled, came down, filled the gap again right here with this candle, consolidated basically, and then we had to sell off with a small gap down. And that's pretty much probably what we saw right here, which this is. We had this gap down right here, came all the way down here, bounced, right? Filled the gap right here on this day. And then we created a huge one down again. So that's pretty much what we're doing. Looks like we're just kind of stair-stepping down a little bit, in my opinion. Stair, stair, down, stair, down, stair, probably down to fill these, in my opinion. So this is the key kind of levels that we're looking at for Microsoft, just so you guys can kind of see them and not be surprised. So we'll probably end up coming back to this and reviewing it in like, I don't know, a couple days, week. A lot of this stuff that I have charted, I'll chart it and then I'll not even look at it for a couple of weeks, and it pretty much plays out exactly how I charted it. So it's always really important to have those key charting. So let's move to Apple here really quick. See what we got going on. Anyway, guys, if you guys are in here, let me know what kind of coffee you guys drink. You guys coffee drinkers? I'm a coffee drinker. I drink Black Rock. Veteran owned. Tastes absolutely delicious. The most American thing. They have a 1776 bag with a Patriot with, I think, George Washington carrying on the flag. Absolutely great. Yo, Crypto B, what's up? How you doing? We're just doing some charting, a little bit of Q&A. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them down. Let me know. If you want me to look at something really quick, I can definitely do that. So right now we're just going to be charting the top 5 of SPY, which is Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Broadcom, and Meta. Anyway, so this is Apple. So it looks like, obviously, you can clearly see I have some stuff charted already. Looks like we have a gap all the way down to 234. I don't even know what this line is for. Oh, double top. I was thinking double top right here, which it didn't do, which, I mean, it kind of did. It sold off, but what realistically happened here is that we just filled these gaps. I mean, look at all these gaps that we've created. So much momentum is happening. It's such a choppy market. Rich, what's up, brother? How you doing? Long time no see, man. Right now we're just doing the top 5 charts. Anyway, so you can clearly see this looks like a triple bounce right here. Support right off of this little gap. Obviously we had the gap up. Looks like this created a floor of support. So that's what we're kind of looking at right here. I'm looking for a 234.52 fill, which isn't even filling it. That's actually a little wrong. That's the beginning of the gap. The bottom of the gap is just slightly below. So I think like 233, something like that. 230 something. What's up? Good, bro. You? Yo, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Doing pretty great. I'm going to be doing these live streams for you guys in the mornings. It's going to be great. Right before I go to work. So I love it, dude. I love this stuff. I got to watch my swearing though. The PG Discord family oriented thing. Anyway, family. And then I see us going to 215 at some point. So right now we're in this consolidation stage. Slight downside right here. Let's just put a line here. And I'll do it on the top of those wicks right here. So it looks like we're in a little bit of a wedge almost. Obviously, if this was a little bit down below and I extended this line out, obviously you can see the wedge. Here, we'll just do that real quick. Little wedge right here. Big wedge. Anyway, I'm going to get rid of that. So we'll see what happens. Remember, I'm looking at the daily here. Now, here's the thing too when you're doing your charting, guys. So when you're doing your charting, some people play it differently. Some people chart a little bit differently. Me personally, it's all circumstantial of what exactly I'm looking for and what I'm going to be doing when I'm doing my charting. So I normally chart the top of the wicks. Normally chart the top of the wicks. Unless if it's almost near, unless if it's close to a full body candle and it's not like a hammerish candle like this little one right here. You know, I normally top the wicks. Um, Sometimes I'll do the full body. Most of the time I'll do the full body candle because you'll have that small breakout and that little small tail that pops out, but then that candle closes within the line. So that's what I would be looking at kind of when it comes to um, charting different things, really on the momentum, because it changes. It really changes it a lot. That little small couple of degrees definitely makes or breaks some trades. You know what I'm saying? See how I'm like really high up over here. And normally, like I said, when you're doing your charting too as well, you're going to be wanting the most touches on your line. So for example, this one, how many times does this one touch a candle, right? One, two, three, four, five touches, six touches when including this breakout, seven, eight. But you don't want it to be touching like this in between half. You either want him touching on the body, right? Like this little guy right here, like this, at the close and at the open of the candle, right? And then so it respects those lines because that's exactly what happened. Broke out, but it closed below. Broke out a little bit, but closed slightly above, but not really. Broke out again, but closed under the line. You know what I'm saying? So those open and closing candles make a huge difference when you're looking at stuff. So when you're looking at ultimate tops, obviously it makes it slightly different. There's only a couple touches, one, two, three touches right here before you had this one. So it definitely takes some practice to kind of get used to and to kind of do on your own. See how much of a difference that is? It's a huge difference. I mean, you're talking about a couple of dollars. Anyway, so my prediction right here for Apple is, we'll just put a little arrow over here. That's what we're looking at. Looking at this to come down and fill this gap. But it looks like this support is kind of holding right here, so we'll see. All right, that's enough about Apple. We'll go to NVIDIA. Crazy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she's busy. When did I do this? No idea when I did this. But Nvidia, dude, Nvidia can go all the way back down to 99. If you don't think it can, it definitely can. All right. So it looks like we had this little gap fill right here. Right here. So how long did that take? This was on November 3rd. It is now April 20. Well, it filled on April 24th. So a good couple of months, bro. Look, April, so what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It took 5 months for this gap up right here to fill. What's up, David? How you doing, brother? Thinking about selling my shares on Nvidia now that I'm finally back in the green. Dude, that's a hard one. Yeah, I mean, realistically, I'm not telling you what to buy, what to sell, none of that. I don't do that financial kind of stuff. I'll give you my perspective and my opinion on what I think. My opinion and what I think about this is you just created a new all-time high right up here a couple of days ago, literally 2 days ago, and you filled this gap. I would expect some relief back down. And I only say that is because we do have a gap right here. See this little guy right here? And then you got another one down here, a big one. bigger one. Remember, this is the daily, guys. I'm looking at the daily here. And you can see we created so many gaps. Remember, like I said, it took 5 months for this one. How many months did I say? From November, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, about 5 months. What is it? November to October, April. Jesus Christ. November to April. So it took that long for this to fill back up. We consolidated for a long time before we got this big breakout above. My average is right under that gap. Your average is which gap? The 203 gap? 188? Oh, not a bad spot, dude. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That's not a bad spot. Um, you know what I would recommend, depending on how many shares that you're holding, maybe just sell off. Like if you're instead of exiting the full position, why don't you sell like maybe three? The best way to go about it is like selling about 3/4. If you're ever thinking about exiting something, um, it's always good to consider maybe having a very small position in there. That way you're not completely out. And that way, if it does continue to run, you're not really missing out on profits. On the other back end, you're pretty much going to be securing profits if you take 3/4 out too as well. So, and you can never go broke taking profit. It's not crazy. Yeah, it's not necessarily crazy, but right now we're on a bullish momentum run right now. We had the gap. We had multiple gaps up. And this correlates, it's really crazy. Tell me that this chart does not look like SPY's daily chart. Look at this little chart right here. All these tech stocks correlate to SPY, and that's what I'm trying to say here too as well. Take a look at this one. Boom. This is NVIDIA. Let's look at SPY real quick. Do a little side-by-side comparison. Obviously I have more lines there, but what do you see? We got a gap down here, and we got a gap down here. Looks pretty close to me. So anyway, so that's what I kind of think here. I think we're going to have some relief to come fill this gap area and gap down, or, bullish case, we continue to run and create another new all-time high. I'm not saying that we won't create new all-time highs or anything like that, but it's very possible we're going to see some profit taking really soon. What was the other one? What did we look at? Microsoft, NVIDIA, Apple. Let's look at Meta. See, it looks exactly the same. Gap. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you. All right, so looks like I drew something here. What did I got? I got a Head and Shoulders. This is a typical Head and Shoulders, textbook Head and Shoulders, in my opinion. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder with the sell-off. And you can see this is why I put my arrows and stuff like that, so I can think ahead. So whenever I come back and review this kind of stuff, boom, I already got it already charted out for me. Market index has been on greed for a couple of weeks now. Let's see here. I'll pull it up right here for you guys. Sorry. Yeah, we're currently sitting at 64. 64. And look, you can see previously a month ago. Look at a month ago, guys. Extreme fear. We're at 14. I remember when this thing was down at 6. Crazy. That was crazy. So normally when we're greedy, normally that's the time to take profits. One thing that I learned from Mo too as well is he used to say this all the time. He still does from time to time. But when people are fearful or extremely fearful, that's when we get greedy. That's when we start buying in. That's the perfect time to start buying in. Now you can't really time how far it's going to go down because listen, it can keep going and going and going and going and going. When you think it won't, it will. Trust me. So you don't really want to try to get caught on the back end of that. But when people are fearful, we get greedy. And what that means basically is start buying. Buy on extreme fear. Buy on the fear. That's when you get the best prices. Because look, a month ago, extreme fear. Now look where we went. Last week, we were in greed at 68. Boom, 4 more points than where we are right now. Previous close yesterday, 63. You can see the timeline too. Look at that. Extreme fear. Look what happened. Extreme fear, 14. What happened there? Boom, huge rip up. Look at that huge rip up. Same thing again. Oh, this is what I was talking about when I said I saw the fear gauge. This was back in November when it was at 4. This one says 5, 6, but it was at 4. Big rip up. You know, when you start getting down to these lower levels here, that's when you start buying. That's when you start buying. When people are greedy, you know what I'm saying? Look at the greed. 75, 70. When you're in the mid 70s, that's when you start getting a little more fearful and you go on the put side, getting that little sell relief because people want to take profits. Market makers want to take profits at highs. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you see. You start to see the greed get in. They're like, yes, give it to me. Anyway, and then you see the sell off. Little sell off, little sell off. I mean, we had a little small trickle down here. But, you know, also the thing with the news and everything like that, you know, people are just kind of weird. Crypto B, Black Rifle. Yeah, bro, Black Rifle is the way to go when it comes to coffee, bro. So, yeah, let me know what coffee you guys drink. You guys a Folgers drinker? Drink that classic Folgers out of the drip coffee? I use a French press. It's my favorite. It tastes the best. Yeah, I should have sold for profits last July. Yeah, I hear you, Crypto B. I hear you. Anyway, so what are we looking at here, Meta? So it looks like a head and shoulders here for me, which I drew. I don't even remember when I drew that. See, this is what I'm saying. I draw these things out, and then I come back a couple weeks later, a couple days later, and then I see if it plays out to see if my technical analysis is correct. And that way I'm not really taking any huge risks. I mean, obviously I could. I could have easily taken a risk for this gap fill. Look how big this gap down was right here. Huge, from 682 down to 742. Dude, that's crazy. That's a crazy drop. I mean, even the low right there, 581, bro. If you got the 581, you literally ran all the way back up to 742. If you caught the bottom here and you held, boom. Crazy. That was from, when was this? November to January. If you held for like a month and a half. And that's the thing about swing trading too. You can make some serious money if you can handle a chop. If you have the cojones to handle the chop, and you fully believe in your technical analysis, see, that's the point too, as well, is you got to learn your technical analysis before you start really doing anything, because you're going to see the overall shift of the market, and then you're not going to be as worried or scared if, you know, you go through some rough patches, if you go through some seas of red. And I think, who does swing options the most that I'm seeing in the Discord? I think Front Options is the one who does. He normally does swing trades pretty well, and he holds through chop and stuff like that. So he can tell you too. He can definitely tell you. So yeah, and look at that. And this is also why I create these little lines right here, because we did technically fill this gap right here. So we filled these two gaps. Boom. And you can see that I created a small temporary support bounce right here off of these gaps too. Bounce, bounce, slight bounce, but ended up selling off. Consolidation with the bounce right here. And now we're back up over here at the top, respecting my line right here. So, and this was off of the, what I thought was a triple bottom, possibly, which it wasn't. But at the time I made that, that's what I was thinking. So looks like we have, let me get rid of this. Looks like we have a little small gap down here. And this is crazy too, guys. See how it all looks like SPY? Gap right here, gap, big gap down right here, another little gap down right here. See, this is why I'm telling you. This is why also when we come back over here, this is why I look at all of these right here. This is why I always take these in consideration. And this is why I look at multiple charts, six, seven, 8 different charts at a time, because like I said, these overall make up this guy right here, SPY. And I watch these on a 5-minute time frame. All of these on a 5-minute time frame, and then SPY gets watched on a 1-minute time frame. And then on TradingView, I normally have the 15-minute up or the 1-minute up or the daily up. So all right, last one, we're gonna look at Avago, and then we're gonna get into we're gonna slap some paper trades in for like 20-ish minutes. See, look how similar, guys, look how similar. But they all tell their own different story, you know what I'm saying? And look at this. I have multiple other gaps down. I think I just stopped looking at this one and just kind of focused on these two, the top and the bottom. And look, dude, it's like $100 difference right here, dude. $100 difference on Broadcom. 254 down to 170. Crazy. All right, so yeah, looks like beat for a leg up / double top. Oh, I think I did this in November. I think all this is from November. I think I did all this charting in November, so it's been a while. Yeah, well, it technically did leg up, but then it dropped down, and we created this gap right here. If you can see this little gap right here, boom, and then we filled it. But then we created another little gap up. So we have a slight small gap down to 381, but we also created this gap up right here. We'll just put that there. And then I already know these other levels, but I'll keep that one there. I'm looking to fill all the way down at this red neckline. This one's a hard read right here, Broadcom. Look at this, just consolidation sideways for months. Broadcom's a little bit of a tough cookie. Honestly, I wish I would have just stayed holding when it was $140. I think I started trading options on this around this time, right around here. Avago was actually my first trade ever. Little fun fact for you guys. When I got in the Discord, Broadcom, Avago, was my very first ever trade. I traded, what was it? I think it was like a 150 call. I think I put like $1,000 in there, and I walked away, and like, dude, it was like a blow off top. I think I made like $700 in like 15 minutes, dude. And ever since then, I was like, this is a game changer. I can do this. I would love to make a dude. And if you guys really think about it, if you make $700 in 15 minutes, that's somebody's paycheck for like a week of work. You know what I'm saying? Somebody worked 40 hours a week, and you made their paycheck, well, if they get paid weekly or whatever, for that week in 15 minutes. Crazy stuff, dude. It's the power of trading. And also, it could be the exact opposite. It could have went the other way, and I could have been down $700. So obviously, you got to understand the risk and manage. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of trading here. Let's see what we got going on here. Looks like we had the 5 cross. Let's look at SPY in the 1 minute here real quick. And like I said, guys, if you guys have any questions about literally anything, let me know. Let me know. All right. Turn the bread bot back on. Boom. I turn the bread bot off sometimes when I'm doing my own charting, so it's a little more cleaner to look at. You know what I mean? You're not going to see as many things. All right, little RSI bullish case. Looks like we created that support, bounced again, tested the 50, didn't get the breakout wanted, rejected. Now we're under the 50. Now the EMAs are looking to cross, but we're in this channel and it's looking like this red line is acting as a support. This is tough. I think I'm just going to risk a put here off of a rejection. I don't see any volume up here right now. There's no volume. So let's just go. We're going to run it. All right, we're going to go 7-10 put. We're going to go 10 contracts. Let's see where we are. All right, we're in. We're in. And that's how quick it should be. You should be able to do your technical analysis really quick, see where the overall market's kind of going, make a quick decision. Now, this could easily burn me really bad like it is kind of right now. What I'm hoping for is a rejection. The 5 rejects off the 50. These 2 hammer candles make me slightly nervous because they did close above the 50, which makes me also believe that it is bullish. But I'm also thinking that this is going to be a rejection right here. But if, oh, see how quick that goes? Oof. All right, I'm going to give this a couple more candles. And we're just going to kind of watch it a little bit. All right, so also let's give a little breakdown about the options too as well. Here's the thing when it comes to options. So if you guys know anything about the VIX, it's basically the volatility index of the S&P 500. And the higher the VIX is, the more expensive your premiums are going to be for your options, because there's high volatility. That means there's more people in the market. That means there's more buyers, there's more sellers. So you're getting a huge volume into trading into the options chain in the order books. And so the VIX is basically an inverse of the S&P 500. So for example, if the S&P 500 is going up, the VIX, it's going to be going down. If the S&P is going down, VIX will be going up. So like I said, a complete inverse of the market. It also helps me gauge what I think is going to happen. It looks like we have the 5 or the 13 cross the 50 and it's going down. So it looks like SPY is actually going to be ripping. We have that sell off here. That means SPY is going up. I can show you right now. Yep. All right. I think I'm going to exit out of this guy. It does not look like it's going to play out in my favor. And when I'm talking about the premiums, I'm talking about the price per contract. So obviously you see your ask and your bid prices over here for my calls, obviously on the left. You can see calls on the left, my puts on the right. And that's pretty much what you're going to be paying per contract. So you see the limit price right here, it says 203. That's what the ask price is. Normally when you're doing options and when you're day trading, I don't really take this into too much consideration, because what you're really looking for is to get in as fast as possible. Yeah, we're going to close this guy out. It looks like it's about to rip. Why won't it close my position? What's it at right now? 201. Last price 92. That's why. And that's what I don't like about paper trading sometimes, is the fact that it just takes so long. It lags behind a lot. All right, we're out of that position. Finally, geez. Obviously, when you're doing your regular trading, you don't have that many issues when it comes to opening and closing your options plays. because it's not lagging behind, right? Like you're not getting that jump that you saw, or like I was stuck at like 10 plus $10 or plus $40 or negative $70. Like it just kind of gets stuck there. It doesn't read it as fast. And that's because there's a little bit of a slight delay when you're doing the paper trading. Now, obviously, when you're doing your live day trading, you're gonna see your options chain move pretty fast. And I'll be doing that pretty shortly. I'll be doing just like a little small live trade situation. I'm thinking about doing like a small account challenge, starting with maybe like $100 or like $200, and then scaling that up to close to like $1,000, maybe making 1 to 2 trades a day, and just making it really short, just taking profits and just kind of showing you how you can scale a small account into a larger account. Um, and honestly, it's extremely difficult to do. It's extremely hard to do. It's definitely not. Just got caught on the wrong end there. And now it looks like we have the 13 crossing the 50. I'm going to wait this out. I'm going to look for a little small slight relief to test right here before I get into a call. The Bollinger Band's getting pretty tight, so I'm not trusting it just yet. Also, we have a little small pre-market gap right here at 712. We might be heading to 712. All right, let's see if we can trade that momentum. I'm waiting for this to come down again to get back in. Now we can do, now see also, I keep forgetting to talk about this too as well. When we're doing option plays too as well, we can do in the money and out of the money. What I like playing is very close, as close as you can to the money as possible. So I like doing that obviously for multiple different reasons. The Greeks on them are absolutely crazy. Theta eats your contracts so fast when you're doing 0 DTEs because it's opening and closing the contract the same day. So DTE is date to expiration for anybody that's wondering, or whoever's new here and is watching this. Date to expiration. Now we can obviously change that. And I'm going to be doing some swing trades too as well, just to be kind of showing you guys exactly what is possible doing swing trading. And we'll probably do a couple of months. We'll probably do like 2 months out on a swing trade. I'll pick a stock and we'll do a technical analysis breakdown of it, and then we'll see if we can get into a paper swing trade there, just to show you the power of trading in general and with no risk, right? You know what I mean? Thoughts on Amazon? Rich, you got it, bro. We'll look at Amazon here real quick. Amazon is also a part of the SPY. They have a pretty large holding. Jesus Christ. Overbought right now. I would be looking to short. That's just on the 1 minute. Let's look at the daily here. Looks like I have some charting done. Got really close closing this 194 gap. Bounced real hard right there. Yeah, honestly, I'd be looking to short at this top right up here. It's the same as everything else here. We got a gap down right here and a big gap down right here, kind of like the SPY. But I would be looking at a double/triple top here, and I would personally be looking to short. That's just me. I could be wrong. This thing could definitely just rip. Yeah, this is the daily. Boom, broken, not broken. But you got a triple crust here, and it didn't even come down at all. Triple break, didn't even come down. Momentum was way too strong. Didn't even get past the 5 until like a couple of days. So RSI overbought. I would be looking to short right here, brother. All right, let's get back to the SPY here real quick. What's going down? Are we good for an entry yet? Daily still just chilling. What's the 15-minute look like here? All right. Boom, 15-minute. Looks like it just touched my blue line right here and it ripped back up right here above. Looks like we're in an indecision. We're getting pinched right here. If we can keep the momentum going, I would expect a 50 test, but it doesn't look like it yet. Now, Mo talks about this too as well. You gotta pretty much triple crust again, bro. Look, broke the Bollinger Band, broke the Bollinger Band, broke the Bollinger Band. And that's why we're having this little small, slight relief up. Yeah, even on the 15-minute, you just got a very small window right here up to 715. I just don't know if we'll carry that. If we'll carry that up today. No problem, Rich. That's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to help you guys. All right. Yep. Looks like we're going to sell off. Let's see if we can get down over here. We're going to do it again. I'm going to go in for another put. I'm bearish. So we'll do a price prediction. We'll do a one out of the money just to show you. So in the money basically would be 712. Out of the money is a little bit under. So we'll do this guy. Oof, I didn't get in. All right, we're in. Well, I got a terrible price. Already down $100. So these $2 right here, we got in for 1700 market value. So, because obviously we're buying quantities of 10. Here we go. Got a nice little sell-off here. Also, this could be a double top right here. You see this guy, you see this wick right up here? This little candle wick? Looking like it's kind of correlating right here. Rejection. And like I said, I didn't see any volume above right now. There's just no volume above, which makes me think we're going to come down right here into this little area if we can beat the 50. All right, we should be up some money. What are we in? 710. So you can see the option chain moving a little bit. Our average price is 179. It's looking like it's currently sitting at $2. So technically we're up 20 cents. It's just like I said, this thing just doesn't read fast enough. The data isn't inputting fast enough. All right, looks like the 13's holding here. We'll see if we bounce. Looks like we're in right at break even. But I like this play. I personally like this play. It's not a bad play. Well, that's an engulfing candle. So, well, hold the phone. Hold the phone. Oof. Oh, okay. All right. All right now. Come on, meow. Now, if we can just get the 5 to cross the 13, I'd be pretty happy with that. Yeah. All right. Getting close. We're pinching this line right here, this middle. I think this is my SMA. Is this my SMA? I don't remember. It's either the middle of the Bollinger Band or my SMA, and it looks like it's bouncing right off of it to keep the momentum above. And it looks like this candle's going to close above the 5, which I don't like because obviously I'm in a put. And you see how this just kind of sits here stagnated? Sometimes I just got to click it like 1,000 times so I can see the price change. Middle BB, yeah, probably is Crypto B, probably is. Because sometimes my SMA and my middle Bollinger Band line, they sometimes are literally right on each other all the time. Needs to break 7-11-20 to rip. Well, technically, actually, it needs to break 7-11-32. You see this number up right here? This is the top of the candle. This is the one it needs to break. So 7-11-32. And it looks like it will. Looks like we're taking another loss. I think we're 2-0 for this morning. But I like both of my trade entries. See, that's the thing too, guys. This is also why you paper trade, because the entry was good, right? The momentum that we saw was good. Just to do a recap of the play, right? Double top, boom, we got in like right here. Here, let's just close this out real quick. All right, gone. Yeah, taking L's today, 2 L's. Anyway, it is a good analysis. It is a good play. It just sometimes it doesn't play out. And you just can't really get frustrated with it. After you kind of see the market move for a certain period of time, you don't really get too upset about it. You take the emotions out of it. And you just try to do the best that you can and, recover, right? But don't beat yourself up too much about it, because there's always going to be another play. There's always going to be another setup. There's always going to be profit taking, right? You're going to take wins. You're going to take losses. Just don't even worry about that stuff. See, me, I wouldn't say I'm an emotional trader, but I like having fun. I get excited. I get hype. Like, I love doing this stuff. So like for me, I wouldn't consider myself an emotional trader. Um, but sometimes it does beat you up. Sometimes it does make you happy. Sometimes you get angry. Sometimes you get sad, mad. Don't be mad, be glad. All right, so it looks like you break 7-11-39. Anyway, so analysis of what I was looking at again. Double top. Boom. Top wick, you had the huge rejection right here. Right here, had a rejection. 2 hammer candles down. I was like, beautiful. This looks good. We entered, I think, like right around here. It did have that small sell right here. The 5 was looking to cross. We did slightly get under, but these 2 candles closed above, which basically told me, all right, we closed above here with a slight hammer-ish candle and a full body candle basically above the 5. So once you see a couple of those things, that's when you get out. You just got to know when to get out. But we'll see if we can do one more trade here. We should have tried keeping up with the momentum, because that's exactly what this was. We should have tried to stay with it. But like I said, there's multiple ways to look at the charts. Everybody kind of sees things a little bit different. People have been like, "Oh, it's so bullish right here. Let me get in. I'm going to get into a call." And you would have been right. I was technically right too for a short period of time on the put side, you know what I'm saying? Um, so that's kind of how that one was. Just didn't play out. Not too bad. And that's when you kind of start learning to brush things off. You're looking at patterns, 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 patterns. Best thing you could do, learn the candles, learn the wicks, learn momentum. Right? Sorry, disconnected, reconnected. Anyway, so it looks like we do have the momentum. And then, like I said, we're going to be looking at higher time frames. Remember, higher time frames give you a more accurate description of the direction. And I personally like using the 15. So 15-minute looks good. I was hoping on a rejection off of this 13 to head down. Just didn't happen. Just didn't happen. So it's coming up to test the 50 right now. And which, like I said, is expected because we broke the Bollinger Band 3 times. So we're definitely seeing that slingshot up. I just didn't think it was going to carry. I didn't think it was going to carry this long. Like I said, I was looking at that 13 rejection. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, did you guys have any questions or want me to look at anything really quick before I head on out of here? I got a couple more minutes left here. Oh yeah. 13 cross the 50 on the 2-minute. I don't really look at the 2-minute. I try sticking to 3 time frames really. The daily, the 15, and the 1-minute, just because I scout. But whatever time frame works best, whatever your vision and seeing is for you, that's how you should mold it and mend it into your own personal what's it called? Trading style. It's all personal. And this is personally how I like trading. Some people are like, your lines are too crazy. You got too many indicators. I can't believe you look at fucking like 12 charts. I like all the information. I like all the data that I'm reading. And look, boom. And this is another way how you could read it too. If you see right here, MACD on the 5 minutes looking to turn up, RSI sitting at 44. That's pretty good to me. We're just under the 13. Looks like we're testing. 5 looks like it wants to curl up right here for Microsoft. Same thing over here. Looks like we're about to get a nice little rippity rip. Boom, 5's looking to cross the 13 on a Vago real quick on the 5 minute here. Looks like Meta's already above. Looks like the 5 and the 5 crossed the 13 a little bit earlier, and the 13 crossed the 50 a little bit earlier. Bullish one. The only one that looks slightly bearish is Apple right now. But Apple normally does the opposite of the market all the time, bro. All the time. I see it just do the opposite of whatever everybody else is doing, I swear. If the market's going up, Apple's going down. If the if the market's going down, Apple's going up. It's crazy to watch sometimes, dude. You'll really try to like rack your brain around seeing multiple different things. But yeah, it's hilarious. It's funny. And when these are all moving in sync though, if you ever watch it like I watch it like this, when these are in sync, all these, this guy gets crazy. It's crazy. All right, looks like we kind of, I mean, we didn't test the 50, but kind of. We'll see. Looks like this candle opened above the 13. So we'll see. All right, so I think the next thing that I'm going to be trading is, man, I don't even know exactly what I'm going to be trading. Listen, as a collective group, if you guys want me to look at something, thanks for the heads up on that yesterday. Just checking in. Yes way. All right, what's up? Howdy, how you doing? Yes way. Thanks for the heads up on that yesterday. What was the heads up yesterday? I don't even remember what you're talking about specifically. See, now it looks like we have lots of volume down here, which makes me still think I'm bearish. I think I might just do one more little trade here. See if we can catch the momentum down. I'm going for it again. Market sell. Oh, yeah, no problem, dude. No problem. That's why, and that's the thing too. Listen, see, when I hit this close button, I know every app's different, obviously. Um, like Robinhood's a little bit different, Weeble's a little bit different. But I like manual. I like holding right here and manually holding on. Oh yeah, see, look at that. We're out. We're out. I'm not even gonna mess around with that. I got whipped again. Yeah. What's the average last price? 95. What? 90? I'm just gonna cancel that guy. 190. Yeah, let's see if we can get out at 190. Probably not. Doesn't really matter. Yep. All right, good. We're out. We're out at 190. Yeah, but that like I said, that's why I like manually trading it. I like seeing the chart, the option chain right on there, like hovering right above it and just kind of just holding it and watching it and then exiting manually right on it. And that way it's instantaneous. And also, if you're within a few cents of the range, don't 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 be afraid just to set a limit order, maybe 2 3 cents above where you are, or even 1 cent, of where it is currently sitting. For example, this is sitting at 218. Just be like, oh, I want to get out at 219. You can do that. But if you're trying to sell instantly, I would just sell instantly by just hitting that link right there and just boom, 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 boom. That way you're not waiting for it to go into your favor. That way you're taking risk off immediately and you can get out right away. And that's why I said, that's why you hear me clicking a bunch on here, because I'm trying to get out at a decent price. I'm not really trying to mess around with sell limits. Now, if I'm doing a price prediction, that's a little bit different. I will definitely look at the option chain right here and be like, okay, where's the fluctuation in between these 2 cents right here? For example, 713, the ask price is 326, and I got in at 7. They'll probably give you more than the 389, right? Once you get to that area or wherever that area was. But it gives you a general idea of where you are in the market. So anyway, so looks like we didn't even get a winning trade today. We got smoked on every entry, but the entries, see, that's the thing. I'm not even upset about my entries. The entries were nice. Boom. I got in like right around here. We had the little small sell. Just didn't play out in my favor. We're technically bullish. Remember, guys, trend is your friend. Don't fight the trend. I was fighting the trend. No bueno. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you today. I will also be going live again tomorrow. And also, guys, if you guys haven't signed up for the Earner, listen, guys, I'm going to be moving this over to the Earner Plus real soon, okay? It's going to be just for the Plus members. I'm not going to have really too many streams to where I'm not only streaming the Plus members. It's going to be really privatized, and I'll probably have them sectioned off into different time frames and stuff like that. I'm still kind of working that out, but if you haven't already, guys, if you're looking to upgrade to the Earner Plus tier, right here on my YouTube page, you can literally scan this QR code right here. See this beautiful baby right here? Scan this QR code with your phone. If you're on desktop, you can scan it with your phone. It'll pull up my personal business card, my digital business card. And also, if you don't want to scan it right here, we got it right here in the link right here. This first link right here, click on this guy. Boom, it's going to pull you up to my page. You can sign up for the Earner Plus lifetime payment plan. This one's the I think this one's the 6 total payments. You can make 6 total payments for the lifetime at $735. promo code earn right now. Actually, it's not for this one. You can't use it for the payment plan one, but if you just do it for the lifetime, you're gonna take money off. I believe it's like 40%, guys. 40% off the lifetime for your membership. So definitely take advantage of that if you guys are looking to. Sorry, I'm just reading your chat, CryptoB. If you're looking to upgrade and stuff like that, today is the last day, guys. We're not going to be having this promo here anymore. I don't know why my computer's being slow. This is the last time that we're going to have a discount this big happen. All right, I don't know why it's not loading up, but anyway, you get the gist. You can sign up with my Webull, Robinhood, follow me on Kick, Twitch, my YouTube, my X, all that other good stuff. But use code EARN, guys. I'm telling you, get the discount. Join the financial freedom. Join us to gain financial freedom and follow along on not just my journey, but your journey as well. And dude, take full advantage today if you guys haven't already. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It is worth it. We have so many tools in the Discord. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Also, I'm just gonna pull up the Discord here really quick. There's something else that I was gonna show you. Well, I don't know. My internet's being slow, but it doesn't really matter. Anyway, guys, sign up. And if you guys have any questions about anything, let me know in the chat in the Discord. Shoot me at in the options chat, the off-topic chat, whatever it is. But don't miss out, guys. The deadline's today. It's over after today. You're not going to get that discount. The prices are rising, so get grandfathered in. Also, another big thing with the Plus members, we're going to be doing Zoom. Mo's doing Zoom for the Plus members, so that way there is no lag or any of that off of YouTube or whatever platform that he's using. There's almost zero lag, like maybe 1 second, give or take, and that's really dependent on your internet and the upload speed of everything else like that. So take full advantage today. Definitely sign up on the description and the link over there down below on my YouTube page or on my digital business card. You can click on those. So anyway, family, I will see you guys tomorrow morning.